Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a at-home install. We're going to be doing some ditch lights on this Ram 2500. For the brackets, we decided to go with rigid, part number 46719, and you can find these on our website. For the lights, we decided to go with some Baja Designs XL Pros. You can also find these on our website. These brackets install to the bolts that hold the hood to the hood hinge. You can go ahead and remove these bolts. The hood shouldn't slide anywhere because of the paint and the hood strut, but just watch for any movements as you're starting to loosen the bolts. Oh, moved a little bit. Insert the bracket from behind the hood, being sure not to squish this hose, and install using the same nuts. Before we tighten the nuts all the way, we'll want to check the hood closing because it moved on us. So we'll want to slide it forward and check the alignment. To make sure the hood is aligned properly, you'll want to look at this gap here after you close the hood, but don't latch it all the way. Once you're happy with your hood gaps, you can go ahead and lift the hood back up and tighten the bracket all the way. Once you've got both brackets installed, you can go ahead and assemble your lights. A lot of lights come with hardware that's stainless, and if you're not careful, it can actually seize up. So I'm gonna add a little bit of anti-seize to make sure that doesn't happen. To make the wiring and install as clean as possible, we're gonna want to get the wire underneath the hood, the plastic piece of the hood here, and down here. Now that we've got both brackets and lights installed, we can move on to wiring them up. Because this truck has relays and auxiliary switches built in, we're not gonna need all of this stuff. I'm just gonna keep the plugs that turn into the lights so I don't have to make a new harness. In order to get this harness over to the driver's side where the auxiliary switches are as clean as possible, we'll want to follow the stock wiring harness all the way across. We're going to be running the wiring harness inside this plastic piece. Along there is a bunch of these plastic clips. You just take a flathead screwdriver, go in there, bend the tab up a little bit, but not too much so it doesn't snap, and then it will release. I'm also going to remove this 10mm bolt here for this reservoir so that we can get the wire behind into the plastic wiring harness. Once you get your wire most of the way across, you're going to want to find this hole here and run your wire back down. Once you have your wire ran back down through, you can go ahead and snap close this wiring harness. Once you've got the plastic snaps all put back into place, don't forget to reattach the reservoir bolt. Continue running your wiring harness across, zip tying it up out of the way neatly. Once you have your wiring harnesses ran neatly where they need to go, it's time to hook up to the auxiliary switch. Usually there's no connector here and you would just solder directly to your auxiliary wires. Because this truck does have a connector installed with an empty pin, I'm gonna connect them that way. First thing I need to do is solder these wires into one. Now that I've got both harnesses turned into one, I'm gonna put a ring terminal on the ground wire so I can attach it to here. And I'm gonna put a pin on the power wire so I can attach it to the connector. Now that I've got my terminal all set up for the ground wire, I'm gonna install the red wire into a Deutsch pin. This is what this connector is called, is a Deutsch connector. And that was just a temporary plug. If you don't install a connector like this to your auxiliary switches, what you would do is just solder your power wire directly to whichever aux switch you're going to use. But this one does have a connector, so all we have to do is plug it in. Just a few steps left. We need to attach the ground wire and finish securing the wiring harness. Last thing you need to do is aim your lights where you want and finish tightening them up. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial. Make sure to check out our other videos on the channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to check out our website, Salty Gears Off-Road, where you can get these ditch light brackets and any other 4x4 accessories.